Hello, everyone. It is Self-Care Sunday, Self-Care Edition. How are you? And you, but especially you. Yes, you. How are you doing tonight? Tell me about it. Tell me about what's going on in your world and what you are grateful for this Sunday evening, the 10th of May. Here we are already, 10 days into May. Already. Boom. Let's get that other screen going here. Oops. And a little quick refresh, and we should be in business. Boom, now I should be all going there. I think all my screens are working right now. Can't believe we're already a third of the way through May. A third of the way. A third of the way there. Boom. Okay, I got all the screens going. Everything is going. Happy Mother's Day to all those who are out there who are mothers. Have a mother, have a fur baby that we're mothers of. Happy, happy, happy. How are you tonight? I can't believe it. It was a up and down day weather-wise, or up and down weather weekend too. But good to be here with you all tonight. I know some of you are out having Mother's Day celebrations and are going to catch the replay because I had a couple of you already tell me that we're going to catch the replay because you're out with family tonight, and I love that. I love that. But I said, I'm still going to be here tonight. I'm still coming. I'm still coming. I am. I'm getting the quote book ready here. Uh, All right, our opening quote tonight. Our opening quote tonight is sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Yeah, so sometimes you got to tell yourself that. Some days you just have to tell yourself that. And that's okay. Hey, Lou, how are you? Happy Sunday. Great to have you here. Hope all is well in Iowa. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to you tonight. Hope all is well with you. I wish I could get my camera. We have such a beautiful pink sunset going on out there. It's just beautiful out right over there. Right over there. Right over there. There's a beautiful sunset going on. Right over there is going on. So tonight, well, one, I thought I'd talk about a couple things. I thought I had a couple quick topics that I wanted to hit tonight because I know a lot of people were having various come downs from their Mother's Day, and most mothers just really want to be left alone on Mother's Day. But field trip to the window. Well, I don't think I can get the if I took you to the window, Jessica, I don't think I'd get you back. Is the problem? I don't think I've got enough rotation. I am working on a new camera setup, in which case I should be able to do stuff like that. Um, you know, and happy Mother's Day to you too, Jessica. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Did Wicket do something nice for you, Lou? That's for Mother's Day. Uh So two things I wanted to talk about. One was because you know and I've talked about it before, that you know outside of a bona fide religious reason, Sunday is a day when people shop. Sunday is a real shopping day. It is a day when people really spend money. And I'm not going to belabor that point tonight. But I did want to use a Mother's Day thing because I had several stores talk, closed today. Hey, Carrie, happy to you. Great to have you here. Um, that closed this Sunday because it was Mother's Day and they didn't think they'd have traffic. And I have and I never like to make a day, I never like to look at a day by itself most of the time. Most of the time, I never like to look at the day, but I've got from stores that were open, um, that I have some early stats on from stores that I have their data. That I have some early stats on that were open from a couple of stores that were like, "Whoa, Neil, we did some sales today. We did some sales today." Uh, and we're up like 15% today, this Mother's Day versus last Mother's Day. And that is really cool. And they were up for the weekend as a whole, which is really my better metric. I don't like, again, too small a period. I don't really like looking at just the weekend, but yes, for the weekend they were up too. So day they were up, weekend they were up, outside of a bona fide religious exemption, should have been open. That's my only comment on that. And if you're unsure, rewatch my whole video on operating dates and everything. That's good, Lou. That Wicket was willing to wait for you to make food, make a nice brunch for Wicket. But I'd actually my other topic that I wanted to talk about tonight, because it's a story going around the internet, and on the surface it has nothing to do with resale and nothing to do with retail, but it really does. And if you haven't seen the story, and I don't even know if the story is true, and it honestly does not matter. Well, for the sake of my telling, I want it to be true. I want this story to be true. Okay. And but there's so many lessons in it, even if it's not true. It's like, what can we learn from this? And it's a wicked long post. If you actually read it, it is it is 5 pages of really small print. This is 5 pages of really small print, this story. And I read it all. I read the whole story. Okay. And I have no idea if I tried to find out if it was true, I'd probably find 100 things that told me it was true and 100 things that told me it was fake. And since I don't know him personally, I gotta go with just what got the internet. And this is just a great story. So it is a story about Pope Leo. Okay, and I am not. Let me give my caveat. I'm not trying to. This is not anything about religion. Okay, it's about somebody and the obstacles we create in business. So when Pope Leo became Pope, and actually, I heard a story on the radio the other day with a priest who had a new book come out. Okay, who wrote a book, and he's like, "Oh yeah, before he was, I was at a dinner, and Pope Leo was at my table, and before he became Pope, this was before he became Pope." And he's like, and even the person doing the interview was like, "No, you were at Pope Leo's table, the future Pope's table." But this isn't about him being Pope. This is about Pope Leo being a real person. Okay, and he called, and this whole story going around on the internet is that Pope Leo called his bank to update his address. Okay, to say he didn't ask a staffer to do it. He didn't have somebody else do it. He tried to call the bank himself to say, "Hey, I'm moving. Okay, my new address, Vatican City, that place. I live in this cool place over there now, and that's my new address." That is the short version of the premise of the story. Okay. And he didn't call to say, "Well, do you know who I am?" He did all the stuff that you do when you call the bank, and you enter 20 pieces of identification, and get the get the text and do the thing and reply to it and have all the verification and had all the right things. And they're like, no, to update this, you have to come in person. To update this, you need to come in person. And, you know, this is an extreme. It's a common, we've all been there. The bank, the electric company, the gas company. When you do these things, it is not easy to get a person. And you stay on the phone and you work your way through the phone tree and you actually get a person. You actually get a person to take your call. You talk to them. And one of the kickers was he said, would it help if I told you I'm the Pope? And that's when they hung up on him, according to the story, as the story goes. Um, but it got me thinking. Okay, this is such a great story, whether it's true or not. I want to believe it's true. Okay, because I've heard of people talking about Pope Leo, how he's that I've actually known him and everything else, that he's a real down to earth, real person's person, not a do you know who I am person. Um, he's a real down to earth kind of person. And so I really want to believe in my heart of hearts that this story is true. But more than anything, as I'm listening to this and I'm reading this story, I'm like, oh my God, what do we do in our businesses that create obstacles for our customers? What do we do in our stores to create policies, to create that sound simple on the surface? Okay, I need 3 forms of ID. I need you to check this. I need you to do this. I need you to jump through hoops. What hoops are we making people jump through? Okay, in our businesses, in our stores, that if we were on the other side of the counter, if we went over here, if I was over here, we'd be like, this is crazy. This is like I'm dealing with the electric company. This is like I'm dealing with a big bank. This is like I'm not dealing with a nice small business that can simplify things. Yes, you want to cover yourself, okay, but we don't want to make incidents a policy. And so, what obstacles, what speed bumps are we creating for our customers? Are we making them, make extra appointments for things? Are we making them, um, we only look at 10 items, but they brought us 11. Sorry, sir. We looked at 10. Where are we so rigid? Where are we so rigid? Okay. That that we don't that we are not flexible, okay, to serve our customers, because that's what separates us from the big guys. Okay, and you may be the big store in your area, you may be the small store in your area, but what separates you, okay, from being like that big monstrous bank, that non-human company, okay, that out of touch organization? What separates you from that? What separates you from that? And so, as I'm reading this story, it is the story of opportunity. Like if Pope Leo banked with a little bank, would he have gotten treated that way? If maybe, maybe not. I mean, you want to protect your consignor's information. You want to protect your consignor's account. You don't want to just give a payout. Right, easy peasy is the way. We're as easy as 1, 2, 3. Bring in your items. We accept items every day between 10 and 4. Whatever it is. Just keeping it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. When we keep things simple, life is simpler for us. It's less stress. It's less on our shoulders. It's less hoops for our customer, and our customers will appreciate that. because I read as I'm reading this story, and I can't believe, I mean, when I printed it out and I saw that this story was 5 pages long, and I even double checked. I'm like, did I print it twice? And I'm like, I mean, look at how small the print is, and this is 5 pages. I read all of it. It was a great story, but that is where my mind went. My mind went instantaneously to what are we doing in our stores to make it easy peasy. Okay, because the path to easiness always will win. Okay, we will win with the customer. Okay, will you have people take advantage of you when you make it too easy? You bet you. There'll be somebody and you'll remember who they are. You will absolutely remember who they are. I know you will. And that hurt. It's painful, but you will. But most people won't take advantage of you. Most people will do the right thing. When you think, what would my customer want? Okay. And what you would want on the other side of the counter. So often we get trapped because of all the things we're victims of all the things we know. We are victims of all the things we know. Too much past, too much future, not enough now. When you live in the now, oh, when you live in the now, okay, you can make changes. You can say, I don't need to ask somebody else. I'm in charge here. I can make that change. I love that, Dodie, that you would have, and normally I would have too. They wrote it in a really compelling way. Okay, whoever took the time to write this, or AI wrote it, or you know, it really wrote it in a compelling way that kept me reading. Um, but I am with you on that. Okay, I am with you. Normally I would have never gotten that far. Normally I wouldn't. But see, my mind goes to the stores that do this, okay, in our business, okay, and the people that tune into me, okay, who are saying, oh my God, there's a store here, and I know it's not you, Dodie, okay, but there's a store tuning in right now that's like, oh my God, Neil is talking about me. Neil is talking about me right now. And if you feel like I am talking directly to you or about you, I'm not. But if you are feeling that, remember you have the power to change this. You have the power to change this. That's what this lesson is. You have the power to change this. Okay? Because we all have also had that customer that does come in and say, "Well, I know the owner. I know the owner." Like, that's great. I love when somebody tells me they know the owner. That's great. That's great. You know, that is always great. I love stores that are named after their pet or named after their mother who or a relative who died a long time ago. I have several stores that were named after an aunt that inspired their journey into resale. And the aunt hasn't been around in 30 years, but the story is. And I know the owner. I know Aunt Susie. And it's like Aunt Susie hasn't been around. So if you feel like I am talking to you, remember you can change because we all know the schmo customer that pulls that crap. Okay, we all know that customer. We absolutely know that customer. This is not what this is for. Okay, this is for all the rest of them. Okay, because we don't make an incident a policy. Okay, and we make things, as Dodie said, I'm using you tonight, Dodie, easy peasy. Easy peasy, because it's not just that you're easy peasy to consign with, you should be easy peasy to do business with. You should be easy peasy to shop. You should be easy peasy to call. You should be easy peasy if I want to send an email or however else I want to reach you, because you're meeting your customers where they are. So keep it easy peasy. That is the premise of this. And I guess I've talked enough about this tonight that I probably have to repost this whole thing for those of you that want to read it or want to read the first half a page or whatever. But I'm surprised they never told me, or it's all I love people like that. Okay, and granted, I can fully admit that 20-year-old me was. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I was a schmo when I was 20. I'm not 20 anymore. Much older than that, but I'm on a schmo. And so make your policies in your business not for the schmo, okay? And treat everybody like they were the Pope. Treat everybody like they were somebody, because they are. Treat everybody like they're somebody because they are. Ooh, I like that. I like that. You know what else I like? This video and everything I talk about goes over to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running the store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell, ring it so you know when another one drops. You can also share it with everybody you know in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody run a better business. I am here every Sunday and Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish, Sunday and Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish. But if you have a question in between, just email me, Neil, Neil, at resalerise.com, Neil, at resalerise.com. I am doing a webinar on Tuesday at 12 o'clock Eastern with our friends over at Simple Consign. If you haven't signed up for that, make sure you sign up for it. Get the recording. It's going to be a great webinar on growing your business this year. Oh, I love when they imply that the owner is a man. That is a classic. That is a classic. It is a classic when I am working in a store. Like, I can be in your store working with you on your business, Lou, and they will think that I'm the owner. Okay, and when people think that, I just laugh at that. Okay, the assumptions people make. Um, it's just funny. Um, people are funny. That's what keeps us in this. We're in this business. Everybody, when they leave this industry, when they retire, when they sell their stores, when they move on to their next phase of life, the one thing they always miss, everybody always misses the people. They always miss the people. So remember that as we laugh about this. But even if you can't watch that webinar live on Tuesday, sign up, get the replay. It's going to be a great webinar. I was working on that today. I was doing some work on fine-tuning some of my presentation for that. I'm excited about it. And you do not have to be a Simple Consign customer to sign up for it. You do not need to be a Simple Consign customer to sign up for that webinar. So looking forward to seeing you all there. We start the program every night with our opening quote. Our opening quote tonight was, "Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow." Our closing quote tonight is, I like this. "The only safe ship in a storm is leadership." The only safe ship in a storm is leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, even a Simple Consign webinar party on Tuesday. Hey, there's always a good party going on here. There is. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I will see you all on Wednesday at 8. Many of you Tuesday at noon or on the replay. Have a great night, everybody. And remember, and you, but most importantly, you. Yes, you. You're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you. Yes, you. On Wednesday.